Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Today in Marvel Mystic Mayhem, we're going to be talking about Captain America. He just came to the game. He's a very interesting character, so we're going to talk about strengths, weaknesses, we're going to talk about suggested highlights and artifacts. How good is this guy really? There's a lot to discuss here, so let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. Let's talk about Captain America. He is the newest 3-star hero in the game. He just hit the game like a day or two ago as of the recording of this video. He's a very interesting character in the way that his kit will switch in between an offense and defensive character, which because of that, I feel you will get much more benefit from him if you play him manually versus auto. And because of that there too, I don't know that he's going to be the best PvP option when you're looking for tanks in PvP, since PvP is auto. So let's go ahead, let's run through his kit. We're going to show some gameplay as well if you haven't seen it yet. His ultimate here, very interesting, switching between offense and defense. Offense stance, when you switch to offense stance, you're going to get 3 mana, which is awesome. Anytime in this game you can get mana back very, very quickly, you're going to be able to do more attacks. One thing to keep in mind too, the more attacks that you do and the more healing that you do, then the quicker your ultimate energy will regenerate. That's going to come into play a little bit later. So, switching to offense, you're going to gain that 3 mana. Switching to defense, you're going to give everybody a shield, which is absolutely awesome. That gives quite a bit of versatility based on depending on the battlefield conditions and who you're fighting and such. You may want to put more defense in or more offense in. Maybe you're on a boss and you want to take the boss down quickly, so maybe offense makes sense. Or maybe like at the end of Dragon Armor, you're getting mobbed by all those additional adds, so you need more defense for him. But then this skill right here, I think is pretty cool. Assemble, create a magic circle in the target area based on the current stance. So if you're in offense stance, you're going to increase the attack of your allies. And if you're in a defense stance, you're going to reduce the damage taken. So you can have him in either stance you want, but these two cards play very closely together based on the stance that you're in. So keep that in mind as well, right? This one here, I think this is very cool. Shield strike. So you're going to throw your shield. It's going to bounce up to 4 times. But right here, offensive stance makes allies prioritize attacking the selected target enemy for 6 seconds. I don't know any other hero in the game where you use a skill and you say, hey, my team, I want you to attack this specific enemy, and then everybody goes ahead and attacks it. Other than that hero skill in Nightmare, right? No other character has that ability, so I think that's very unique, and I think it's very cool. Defense stance taunts all enemies for 6 seconds. And then we already talked about this one, Assemble. And if I didn't mention this already at the start of battle, you're going in an offensive stance. And then you're going to go ahead and switch stances. Offense stance, again, increase attack by 17%. Defense, at least where I have him currently, we're going to increase that defense by 26.4%. It's very cool. He's a very interesting character, like I said. Let's go into his talents and such here. So this right here, you're going to do some increased physical damage here as you level this up. This is cool here. When using Shield Strike in offense stance, gain a shield equal to 15% of Captain America's health, max HP. Very cool. While in the magic circle of Assemble, Shield Strike deals 50% more damage. So his kit looks pretty good. This right here, for every 1,000 max HP, attack increases by 15, up to 450. For every 100 defense, attack increases by 15, up to 452. So I think we can get his attack up there. Even with that, one thing I have noticed through the testing that I've done with Captain America, his damage is a little bit low, so you definitely want to pair him up with some strong strikers like Iron Man or Scarlet Witch. Also, since he is a physical attacker, you might want to take a look at some of those physical damage dealers, like maybe pair him up with Moon Knight. Not so much damage, you got a little bit of healing there with his survivability. Maybe that makes sense. I think as we get more time with Captain America, we'll definitely find some really good combinations there. All right, let's talk about highlights. So what I have right now is I have Light of Darkness, just increases his defense. I do swap if I'm doing more challenging content and really kind of testing him out. I will throw this one on here that increases HP. With his, let's pop out. Let's go take a look at his specific highlight. Right in here. So when I get to 80, I'm going to go ahead and grab his highlight because I think the highlight is definitely going to help him out quite a bit. We'll talk about that here in half a second. So it took me 61 pulls in order to get him. I got 1 copy of him in 61 pulls. So I'm definitely going to get this once I hit 80, his highlight. Check this out. So the wearer's HP and defense increases, which is awesome. When they use their ultimate move, all allies gain 10% more damage. So he's really buffing up his team quite a bit with defense, with damage, and a lot of strategy comes into play depending on what you need at the time. Maybe your team needs more defense, just a little bit more until your healer gets his ultimate or gets the heal spell so that your healer can go ahead and heal your team. When Captain America is equipped with this, an additional effect applies. Using Assemble, right? When at least 3 allies are in range, refunds 1 mana. So, as you refund mana, you're able to attack more. As you're able to attack more, you're building your ultimate energy up a little bit quicker. This guy can ult very, very quickly. So those are types of things that you want to take a look at. His ults happen very quickly, which is cool because then you have multiple options between attack and defense for your team. So I'm definitely going to get this and really test him out with that. That's probably going to happen on stream tomorrow. So let's go back out here. Let's go to Captain America again. All right, so check this out. His artifacts. Here's what I suggest and what I'm playing with right now are these 2 right here because increases all allies attack by 15%. Additionally, making your allies even stronger after he uses his ultimate. And since he ultimates pretty quickly, I think this is going to come into play and help quite a bit. Also, this one right here, which all allies take 12% less damage. This really, to me, seems like a very good setup to get him and take full advantage of his kit, his stance switching, and everything like that. I think it's pretty cool. There are a few weaknesses, though, with him. I think just in general, he's a little bit squishier than some of the other tanks. So his damage is a little bit lower, like I was talking about earlier, so you want to pair him up with people who are going to do quite a bit of damage, like I had mentioned, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man. Also, you need to get him in there with a healer, especially if you're going through some very challenging content, because again, a little bit squishier than some of the other tanks. His Soul Saga, let's take a look at this. In my opinion, I think Mind comes first because he's going to gain ultimate energy right off the bat at the start of battle. So that kicks off his string of ultimates. This second one here increases his defense, which is going to help with his survivability. And then this one up here increases energy generation of allies in the magic circle. This is cool because that circle you can place wherever you want. That's one thing too. With this guy, if you have him on auto, sometimes he will cast Assemble and put that circle down, but that circle is stationary. So sometimes your characters are going to walk outside of that circle and not get that buff. So again, another reason to manually play this guy is so that you can strategically place Assemble on the ground so that whether you're in offense stance, you're giving your team extra attack. If you're in defense stance, you're giving them damage reduction. But also this too, I mean, once we get to Mind 3 on this guy and you get energy regeneration for your allies in that circle, that's just going to speed up the attacks even more, which is very cool. The other direction I think I can wait on, Magic Circle of Assemble lasts 5 more seconds. That's huge. But I just feel benefit. Mind has much more benefit over there. And then Heart, we get an increase in HP. This last one here, after using a skill or ultimate, the next basic attack deals 500% more damage. I think this is more of a secondary benefit here. And then ultimately, as last one here, other allies can be affected by Expert Technician, which is cool. That is our Tactician. That's his passive where he starts off in offensive mode, and then you got the benefit of the attack and defense. So I think maybe what that means is, depending on his stance, your team gets the increased attack and defense also. So I think that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead. Let's take him into a battle, and then we'll just manually play him. Let's go into Fabled Finds. And let's see, what are we on this one? Recommended single target. This is a single target boss, which I think would be good. So let's go ahead. I got to get some energy here. Let's just go 2. I'm not going to be overly challenging here. I just want to show the basics of his kit. All right, I've got it off auto. So I've got my attack here. So this is going to help me prioritize where I want my enemies to strike. I'm going to go ahead. Let's strike this guy. This guy first. All right, let's go. I'm going to buff. Oh, I guess I'm going to buff. Oh, here we go. Won't reach there, but I'll buff I'll buff myself and Iron Man. Now we got that increased attack because I'm in offense mode right now. All right, I've got my favorite combo here. I'm going to wait for my 5 mana. So buff her. And then use this attack here. All right, so here's this. Here's my buff here. So I can switch between this is going to give me my offense stance and it's going to give me mana. Or I can go ahead and grant all allies a shield. I think I'm doing okay. So I'm going to get that mana regen back. Boom, there we go. So I've got all of this going on now. Let's go. Attack. Boom. I'm not going to worry about the dash. Oh my gosh. Let's do the buff. I don't really need that one. I wish I could like throw a card away. But hey, I'll do that. All right, I'm going to get this buff right here. Let's increase attack, and then I'm going to do Iron Man's ultimate. Attack is up, and then boom, that should take care of him. So with Captain America, there's a lot of decisions to be made during battle. Do you need more offense? Do you need more defense? Where are you going to place your assemble? Do you have anybody outside of that circle? Where are you going to get the most benefit from it? Are you going to have more melee characters closer to you? That way, that's one thing kind of to help the auto aspect of it and assemble and things like that. And the buffs on the ground is if you have all melee and they're all surrounded by him, then every good thing's going to be just right there too. But a lot of our damage dealers, major damage dealers, are ranged heroes. So your healers are ranged heroes as well for the most part. You got Moon Knight that does some healing. But very cool. I really like this guy. I think he's good. I think more testing needs to be done. One thing I will show you, I think a lot of people are testing him out in Nightmare. I think there's a lot of thought around this guy being a good hero for Nightmare, specifically Dragon Armor. So I'm just going to jump into Dragon Armor. If you haven't taken a look at it yet, check this out. Let's just go to best. I'm in the top 4% right now. But look at, people are using Thor, Iron Man, and Cap. We've got, Iron Man is pretty much everywhere here. What are they using? They're using, okay, we got this, and we've got his highlight there. This is always a good indicator, too, of how people are doing and what they're using. So these two here are pretty consistent so far. Well, that's only 2 people, but let's keep looking. Yep. Same here. Yep, this person's using both of who I'm using. You've also got with Thor and Emma here. So it's always cool to take a look at this and see what people are doing. And some of these people, like level 53, 996, I don't know what level they're completing this at to get that score, but could be Nightmare. They could be using them all the way up into Nightmare right now. So a lot of Cap right now. I don't know if that's because he's the best currently, or maybe just a lot of people testing him right now. All right, everybody, that is what I had for you. That's Captain America. I'm very excited to see more of what he can do, especially once we get him built up higher. We get higher, well, I get his highlight, but also we get the higher tiered artifacts as well to get the benefits from there. All right, everybody, that's what I had for you. Very curious. What do you think of him? What do you think of what you've seen so far? Or maybe you're testing him too. What are your thoughts? All right, everybody, that's what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.